nowadays music. What do you think about it?
I have difficulty with it. I like songs, so anything that is a good song to me is appealing, no matter how it's done. But I think there's a lot of what we would call back then cheating, you know, for live performance, because I think live performance is where it is at. And you get a lot of people miming. Television has explored that all about, you know, because it's easier for the technicians to handle somebody who's just miming. So if you get into that, then it's a whole different art form, you know. Some of us are great playing live and performing, but you get on television, you have to mime. It's like you can't, you know, it's horrible. But then you have other people that are really good at that, but you can't put them on the stage with a microphone and sing.
It is said that a true band can perform live every time.
Yes, yes.
We've done a few TV shows, but we always insist on doing it live, you know, at least the vocals and everything, just because it's what we do, you know. I mean, a lot of bands, like you say, a lot of bands can't do that all the time, you know.
Okay. Can you name a band from the new ones that you like to listen when you are at home, for example?
With new bands?
Yeah, why not?
Not really.
No, we don't really.
I listen to old music.
Yeah.
I listen to blues, I listen to bluegrass, country music, jazz, even some classical music, but there's very little that's happening now. Jessie J, very good. Do you know that girl? She's a new artist. Right now, happening right now, Jessie J. Excellent.
So you don't want to give a chance to...
Yes, they've got all the chances in the world, but they've got to impress me before I listen to them, and I'm just going to listen to them because they happen to be someone's favourite. Yeah. I'll give it a shot, and if it doesn't happen, then I don't listen.
There is a new band in England called Mumford and Sons. It's very rootsy. That's doing very well. They're very good, you know.
So you just listen to someone if you receive a recommendation. For example, have you listened to Lady Gaga? It's impossible not to, I believe.
I don't like Lady Gaga. I think it's all show and, you know, it's extravagant nonsense to me.
But you have listened to some songs in order to have
you hear them.
They're not that clever. You know, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
The problem is as well, when we're extremely busy, we play a lot, you know what I mean? And usually in the business is like the last thing that you want to do when you have a day off or when you have some time is listen to music. So we tend to, like, you know, because we spend so much time touring, you know, when we do have time, when we're not touring, we tend to not listen to music, you know.
I mean, we all have our iPods and we listen now and again to stuff, but it's usually not to find new artists, it's to find solace in what you like to hear, you know,
old
something
music.
to lift it. No, it's not all old, it's not all old, but it has to mean something for me to stick something on my head and listen to.
What about Romanian bands? Do you know any?
I don't know any.
Don't know any.
Any?
No.
Why not? Aren't you curious when you come to a country to hear unless the best bands from
we
there?
don't get time to go out to other concerts and gigs to see them, so all we see is perhaps what's on the television in the hotel. Somebody might mention something to us, and if we get a chance we might have a listen, but it's not top of our priority to look at bands in places where we go.
It would have been nice if, you know, really the promoter should maybe put a Romanian band on with us.
Yeah.
You know, so it would have been nice to have a Romanian band and us, because we arrived last night at midnight, got to the hotel at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we play today, and then we leave tomorrow morning about 6 in the morning. So you don't really get a lot of chance to hear the local bands, you know.
Sometimes when we do festivals and, you know, you hear a local band and you go, oh, that's interesting, but there's nothing has ever stood out to me.
What's your opinion about music nowadays?
I think music nowadays is very healthy. You know, I think it's really a lot of good young bands coming up, guitar bands.
Can you name some of your favorites?
I like Eating Foxes, the English band, American band. I like Sabian. A lot of quite into some of the young solo artists that are around as well.
And you?
I'm really impressed by a lot of young women who are coming up these days. I think they make, obviously like Amy Winehouse, and Duffy and Eliza Doolittle and people like that. They sound really good to me, but I think possibly that's because what they're doing is quite retro, but that's what takes my ear when I hear it on the radio. That's the sort of thing that I like. There's a lot of stuff I don't like as well, but then that's always been the case. There's always different kinds of music that some you like, some you don't. But there's I think John's right. There's a lot of news, a lot of exciting stuff going on, whether you like it or not, and that's healthy. It's a healthy scene.
Have you ever listened to Romanian music?
No, I couldn't identify any.
No.
Maybe there's a bit of gypsy influence in some of it.
Oh. But have you heard about Ina? She is famous right now, international level.
Yeah.
Romanian?
Yeah, Romanian. Ina. No. No. Okay.
Always turn up. Always be available.
Like,
Do not be a diva.
that's a good one.
Everybody must pull together, especially in the early stages. If you arrange a rehearsal, everybody must be there on time, no excuses.
And also there's always a lot of people are always trying to achieve something, and it's very easy to get despondent because there's always a lot of pitfalls in this business. You get to a certain level and then you get let down so many times, and it's really just to keep telling the kids just to keep persevering, because if they try hard enough
and believe in
themselves really, and then eventually something will come out of it. It's very easy to say, oh, I'm not doing that anymore, and to walk away from it, but it's nice to keep persevering.
And the business has changed so drastically in the last 40 years that it is I have young sons who are in the business, and I can't even give them advice on how to do it like I did, because that doesn't exist anymore. It's a totally different journey now for kids.